Okay guys, real quick, we want to talk about stretching the field horizontally in a one-back pro style slot set formation. Real quick, let's draw up our defense. Okay, that's essentially what we're kind of seeing from a lot of teams this year, is this type look. We get that with film. Without film, you know nothing. Don't think you know everything without film, because it's just simply not true. Okay, so what we're going to do here is they're either going to give us a 7-man box or 8-man box. Either way, we don't care. The game plan for 8-man and below boxes, where people really try to smash in on our power running attack, is to spread the field horizontally. So what we want to do first is we want to press the 8-hole. The 8-hole will be pressed. 8 holes over here, and we're going to press or stretch towards that 8-hole. So our first order of business is we are essentially going to have our back sell, okay, sell 43 zone. Okay, our Z is going to motion down, quarterback opens to the Z, and the Z fly sweep is going to take it to the 8-hole. Okay, essentially this blocking scheme here is going to be zone stretch. Okay, that's our outside zone. We're going to leave the backside end. So what we're trying to achieve here is we're trying to get the Z flying down, jet sweep to the 8-hole. We've got plenty of blockers with our 2 tight end set, with our F out there as a wing. And we're really going to stall these linebackers by selling that 43 zone. Okay, that's the first play in the series. The second play in the series is essentially going to be, okay, what do? Now they've brought 8 in the box. They've dropped Mr. Sam down here, they brought the corner in tighter, and they're now giving us an 8, or in some cases even a 9-man box. So what we want to essentially do at this point is we want to go ahead and zap motion this guy down, okay, right? But we want to go ahead and stop him right outside our F, okay? And now what we want to do here is we want to start working our 48 stretch game that may cut up inside or may go outside, okay? I feel like at this point, you know, it's a numbers game. We've got enough blockers out there, and we should be able to get some action. So we've got our Z-fly sweep and our 48 stretch, okay? Now moving right along from that, we've shown them now zap motion to the right out of our slot set. Okay, it's real important. So what we want to do now is we want to kind of pay attention from the booth on what they're doing, because nobody's just going to sit there and just get, you know, pummeled to death. Let's draw this back up. Okay. And we've got our defense that's now showing something like this. Sam on the bubble, 3 technique, Mike, Will, Aga, end. Okay. Corner, free safety. They're probably going to be a little reluctant on that because they don't want to give up, you know, too much room there, and then really play that 8-man box maybe with the overhang in the corner. Okay, so what we want to do now is in the third progression, we talked about Z-fly sweep, and then we talked about 48 stretch, zapping Z over, and creating sort of a 3 tight end 48 stretch look. Now we want to look at the next progression. The next progression is who is defending our slot receiver. If there's nobody that has shaded out to cover this Z, this should be immediately a look pass. Look pass, bubble screen. You know, there's a lot of different ways we can block this and send this out, but that's the next order of business in our progression. We want to see who's defending that slot receiver there. Okay. Now, if they've got somebody defending that slot receiver, okay, we're going to go ahead and come underneath that with the 47 counter, okay? The way that's going to work is we're still going to zap across, okay, and we're going to open up, touch the Z in the stomach to sell the fake Z-fly sweep. He's going to run it out, and then essentially what we're going to do is we are going to counter step gap down, gap down, gap down, kick out the end, funnel the F, hinge block, and we are going to counter it up inside off the Z-fly sweep. Okay, that's if our will has come out to defend our slot defend. Now, two things can exist. That will can stay put in his original position. If that's the case, we look past the Z, or the will can come out to defend that slot receiver, and then we fake Z-fly sweep, 47 counter. Okay? And then finally what we have is we want to go ahead and show something completely different. Is they've seen our Z-fly sweep. They've essentially seen it come. Okay? And now what we want to do is we want to just throw a little bit of a curve at them. Okay? Now we've got them spread out. Okay? We've essentially got them kind of guessing on where they want to go. Eventually they may end up in some kind of look like this to kind of really defend the whole field. And then that's when we're going to end up hitting them with our F around. Now before we do this F around, we are going to motion our Z across and zap to get them over here. Okay. Now, if they're in a zone coverage, okay, where they keep the will over here, then that's good for us because that means we can move guys around and create one-man advantages. Okay. Now, we've already got this guy zapping across and we've got our existing 48 stretch, but let's assume that they start doing this to us. Okay. And they start really trying to create problems for us in the run game by creating a 9-man box. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to sell outside zone. Okay? All right? But we're going to come open, selling the inside 44 zone, not outside zone. And then we're going to come and we're going to take this on an F around. Okay? So now what we've done is we've shown the defense our Z motion across. The defense has seen the Z-fly sweep. They've brought a guy down into the box. We motioned a guy across. We started pressing the outside zone for a cutback inside or outside. Now they've really brought people in here to contain that in a 9-man box. And now we're going to hit them with the F around. Okay? So this is a nice progression. So we start off with the Z-fly sweep. We then had, we brought Z over for a 48 stretch. Okay? We then came in, we took an eye on our Z in the slot. If someone was not defending him, we would look past him, bubble screen. Okay. If they have a guy on him and we motion him across, then we're going to F around. Okay. So essentially, have a perimeter play right, perimeter play left. Okay. Bubble screen and a counter up inside. Now, of course, once we hit him with the Z-fly sweep, okay, and we've got him where we want him, and now we've got guys kind of spread out. Ideally, what we're trying to achieve is we're trying to influence this type of look. This is ideally what we want. Okay, we want to get that defense spread out. We want to get them showing something like this. Okay. We want to get them in sort of that type of look. Okay. Now, once we get them in this type of look, we've got our 47 counter coming up through here. And then remember, we still also got, our trap series. We got a really nice trap series going on here in our 30 cut, okay, where we can fat F over and have them hit it up inside for our trap. Okay. Now this is once we've spread their box out. Obviously, as it sits right now, you can see that they're concerned about this outside run, so their overhang and their strong safety are going to be essentially almost out of the box. And what we've theoretically done here is we've created a 6-man box in a pro-style offense, in a pro slot-style offense. So what we can end up doing here is you know, bringing our F over, fat motioning him here, coming down, okay, free releasing, kick out the 3 technique, hinge backside, right? F goes up inside on the 30 cut. And we're gonna have a lot more success now hitting it up inside in a 6-man box versus, you know, what we were faced with before. Now remember, this whole game plan stems from the idea that they were showing an 8-man box to begin with. Best case scenario, 7-man, but a lot of these teams like Foothill, they'll bring 8 in the box. Okay? Cheyenne, they will bring 8 in the box. And don't forget, we still have our whole power series. Okay, we got our whole power series intact here. So once we've got them in this 8-man box, and remember, you can't get them in an 8-man box without dictating to the defense how we're going to do it. Okay, so we had this look. We come back. We put our F here. Now we've got our power series. Okay, there's our power runs. So the idea is to get those Z-fly sweeps, the F around, the look pass to the slot receiver, the counter when the will comes out, to spread this defense out and try to get them in a 6-man box. Okay. Once we get them in that 6-man box, we can 30 cut, 46 power, 47 counter, 43 zone. You know, we go back to our traditional inside power game. So that's a good breakdown of facing the 8-man box.